Hey everyone, welcome back to NeuroEnglish Now. I'm really excited you've joined us today because, trust me, this episode is going to be a total game changer for your English learning journey.
Absolutely. If you're someone who's ever thought, why does English feel so hard to think in? Then stick with us. You're in for some breakthrough moments.
Yes, we're tackling one of the biggest hurdles English learners face, getting past that mental translation loop and actually thinking in English. Imagine speaking naturally, without feeling like your brain is running a language marathon.
And the best part is that we're combining language techniques with neuroscience-backed strategies, so you get tips that actually work with how your brain learns.
Right, today's focus is all about rewiring your brain to think directly in English. No more bottlenecks slowing you down. All right, let's dive in. So as we dive in, let's zero in on something that every English learner knows all too well, the mental translation loop. You know, that exhausting process where you're stuck thinking in your native language, translating every word in your head, and then finally saying it out loud. It's a real struggle, isn't it?
Exactly. And what's happening is that your brain is actually doing double the work. First, you're processing in your native language, forming sentences, and then you're translating those into English. It's like having two apps running on your phone at once, draining all your mental energy.
And here's where it gets tricky. Because of this overload, conversations can feel slow, unnatural, kind of like your tongue and brain aren't working together. I mean, I'll never forget the first time I tried speaking Spanish, for example. I thought I was ready, but halfway through the simplest sentence, my brain just sort of froze. I couldn't find the right words fast enough, and everything fell apart.
I hear that all the time from learners. It's the translation bottleneck. And neuroscientists...
Wait, hold on. Translation bottleneck?
Yeah, that's what researchers call it. It's when your brain gets stuck trying to manage both thinking and translating simultaneously, which slows everything down. But here's the good news. The solution is to bypass translation altogether and think directly in English.
And the neuroscience behind this is fascinating. When you think in English, your brain activates completely different neural pathways than when you're translating. It's like taking a shortcut or finally finding the fastest lane on a packed freeway.
Exactly. And over time, thinking in English trains your brain to form direct connections between words, meanings, and ideas. That's why fluency starts to feel natural. It's literally a more efficient system. Now that we understand why thinking directly in English is so powerful, let's dive into some practical techniques listeners can start using today. One of my favorites is something called inner dialogue replacement.
Oh yeah, this one's a total game changer. Your inner voice, it's like, that mental chatter we all have. It's constant. Most people don't even realize it's there. But when you switch that voice to English, it's like reinforcing little neural loops all day long.
Exactly. For instance, let's say you're getting ready in the morning. Instead of thinking, what should I wear today? In your native language, try thinking, oh, this shirt looks comfortable, or I think I'll wear jeans. You start to rewire your brain to think directly in English, no translation needed.
That's what's so powerful. Your brain is, it's basically creating a direct link between your thoughts and English. And as neuroscientists say, neurons that fire together, wire together. So the more you do it, the stronger these connections get over time.
And it's not just about thoughts. Let's talk about the environment technique, because this one uses your surroundings to push English into your daily life, right?
Yes, this one is so simple, but the science behind it is really cool. Basically, you label objects in your house, like sticky notes everywhere, fridge, mirror, coffee maker. That way, every time you look at these objects, your brain automatically thinks in English.
I've got a quick story about this. When I was learning French, I covered my apartment in labels. Literally, everything had a sticky note. Within a week, I caught myself thinking, frigo, when looking at my fridge, not refrigerator. It works. And it's weirdly satisfying when you notice it happening.
Totally. And the neuroscience here, again, is fascinating because place cells in your brain...
Place cells. Briefly explain that for me.
Yeah, place cells are neurons that store location-based information. So by linking an English word to a specific spot in your environment, like a coffee table, you're kind of mapping the language onto your daily life. It's brilliant, actually.
And once you've got those foundational techniques down, here's something I love recommending. The narration technique. This is where you, sort of, narrate what you're doing in real time. In English, of course.
Oh yeah, and it's easier than it sounds too. I mean, simple things like I'm making coffee or I'm walking to the store. It doesn't have to be fancy.
Right. My morning routine is where I do this the most. Like, I'm brushing my teeth, or I should pack lunch today. What's happening here is that by actively linking actions to English words, you're bypassing translation. And the kicker? Your brain starts doing this automatically with practice.
Exactly. 5 minutes a day has such a big impact, kind of like a workout for your brain.
And let's not forget the question-answer technique. This one is all about, stimulating conversation. With yourself.
Yeah, it's actually fun, even if it sounds weird at first. Like, you can ask yourself, what's my plan for today? Then answer, well, I need to buy groceries, go to the gym. Whatever it is, it gets both sides of your brain working.
I love that. It's like holding a mini dialogue in your head. And, actually, research shows that when you engage both the questioning and answering sides, you're forming kind of, like, denser neural networks in that second language.
Exactly, and it's kind of incredible how quickly it starts feeling natural, like a real internal back and forth. It layers onto everything else we've covered so far. All these techniques we've talked about, from inner dialogue replacement to the narration technique, they're amazing, but here's the thing. None of them will work without one key ingredient: consistency. You've got to turn them into daily habits, and when you do, the transformation is absolutely worth it.
Right. Neuroscience shows us that repetition and consistency are key to creating those strong, lasting neural pathways. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Exactly. I had this student, let's call her Maria, who started with just 5 minutes a day of that question-answer technique, and at first she said it felt awkward. But after 3 weeks, she told me something amazing. She was sitting at breakfast and suddenly realized,
Wait, let me guess. She started thinking in English without trying?
yes, exactly. She said thoughts like, I should grab more coffee, or let's check the weather, just popped into her head in English. No translating, no effort. It just happened naturally.
That's such an incredible moment. And honestly, it's proof that the brain changes with consistent practice. It's like your brain rewires itself to make English the default.
And the science backs this up. When you engage these techniques daily, even for just a short time, you're building those stronger neural pathways. It's all about small steps that compound over time. Just like Maria's experience, it starts feeling almost automatic.
Which is exactly why a daily practice routine works so well. It's not about being perfect every day. Just showing up and doing something, even if it's just 5 minutes, makes all the difference.
Yeah, and honestly, one of the most exciting parts is that moment when, it all clicks. When English feels less like a foreign language and more like a natural extension of your thoughts.
Right, especially since your brain keeps adapting. It's this ongoing transformation. And before you know it, you're thinking, speaking, and even dreaming in English.
Well, Sarah, I think we've covered a ton of ground today, and that's all for this episode. Great talking as always.
Same here, and here's to everyone starting their practice today. You've got this.